Hello and welcome to Commissioner's Corner, an episode of the Golden Hour here with Horizon League Commissioner Julie Roe Lach. I'm Rachel White. Julie, obviously your time here at the Horizon League is coming to an end very shortly. So just reflecting back on, the last 10 years or so that you were here, what are some maybe of your favorite memories or key accomplishments that you feel as a league we've been able to achieve during your time here?
Okay, so 10 years in 2 minutes. Is that what we're shooting for here? That's fair. Okay, well, I'm thinking through, Rachel. That's a big question, so I'll try to think through our strategic priorities we talk about in the Horizon League. So first and foremost is the student athlete development area, and I think one of the proudest things that our staff really did was own that we needed to help our schools with mental health.
Yeah.
Coming out of COVID, we heard loud and clear that this needed to be a league-wide initiative, and they needed some resources to help, whether it was for triage of counseling or creating safe spaces. But we were able, with our board's approval, so our presidents and chancellors really stepped up and said, we're going to put over $500,000 in this grant fund. And then our schools were able to apply and, of course, got that money that you helped oversee that process. And I think we saw the impact was real. Yeah. So that to me is towards the top. I think relative to COVID, we were able to play more games than anyone else. And I think, again, because our leadership came together. Yeah. So I think our completion rate was 84%. But more importantly, that spring semester of 2021, as we think back, we hosted all 19 championships when some conferences opted out of their fall. We said, nope, we're going to do them all. And then many of us also lived at Lucas Oil Stadium because we were a lead host for all of the men's March Madness, which of course happened here in our home state. So in the Horizon League played a lead role. So that was pretty significant. Can I keep going?
Yes,
okay.
Please.
In the competition realm, I touched on it a little bit, but I think the basketball championship, when I came here, our basketball championships were at the highest seed, which was a remarkable experience for the highest seed. But what we kept hearing from our coaches in basketball, men's and women's, was, boy, we'd love to have a destination tournament. Yeah. So first we built something pretty special in Detroit with our friends at Olympia Entertainment, had a good run there for 4 years. And then we recognized, this is how we should be celebrating our basketball championship because we are a basketball league.
Yeah.
So with that, we then put it for bid, and now we've been in Indy now 6 years running, and Indy's really owned it, which has been fantastic. So I think that's key. But beyond that, we do, with our 19 championships a few years ago, our staff said we're going to make all of these a major experience. So I think we've gone to work on upgrading our signage, upgrading our logo a little bit, but frankly, just raising the profile of the league. Yeah. And that gets to our messaging priority. The ESPN partnership has only grown. You've played a big role in that. Other staff members have in terms of increasing viewership year over year. But I think that's just an amazing platform that we've really been able to continue to capitalize on and bring that exposure to our student athletes. And then on the stewardship front, again, with the help of our finance committee of the board, we're really solid financially. So that means we've been able to distribute almost, I was doing the math with Beth, our director of finance, the other day, almost $6 million the past 6 years we've distributed back to our schools. And not just cutting a check, it's been a strategic distribution. So
for sure.
Just this past year, we did another upgrade with the ESPN infrastructure. So that's exciting. And then we've got some new members. It's been really fun to be a part of this growth and bringing on, of course, NKU, IU Indy, Robert Morse, all happened with Commissioner John LaCrone. And then I was able to bring in Northern Illinois University. So that's exciting. I won't be here when they actually get to participate in their first competition, so I'll come back as a fan. But I think knowing, more importantly, knock on all sorts of wood in this changing landscape, but our league is really stable and strong and unified. And I think that's a tribute, again, to our leaders.
Yeah, and another thing that has been accomplished recently or is kind of still in progress is working on the congressional strategy, the score update and all that. So can you give us an update on kind of how those things sit now?
Yeah, thank you for that, because I sort of had the internal lens look. So knowing that Congress is obviously has a big interest in college sports, and I think we did a podcast on this, we formed, and it was really the president of Youngstown State, Bill Johnson, U.S. Congressman for 13 plus years. He and I had a conversation and said, we as mid-majors need to step up and engage, because if we don't, his phrase is, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu. And in this case, we recognized we needed to be present as these conversations were happening, not trying to weigh in after the fact, because then it's too late.
Yeah.
So because of that, we were able to have 9 other member conferences join this coalition, and we've been able to make some noise, so to speak. And because of that, we were able to negotiate offline with the A4, frankly, more security in what the Division I membership standards are. So those just can't be changed by a vote of 4 autonomy conferences 5 years from now. And that's big, I think. I think that brings, frankly, more protection across Division I. And then also, we've been able to ensure that our representation, as Congress looks at what should be the percentage as representation, we've been able to ensure that we don't lose any more ground on that. And I think that's important too, because the voice that we do have, we need to keep.
You've talked about, obviously, you're leaving the Horizon League in a really strong place with whether it's, some protections from that. But just in general, what do you think makes the league such a strong, really conference right now, given kind of the landscape of the NCAA?
I'm looking at 2 parts of my answer here. Our staff. I mean, we've got, I say this privately, our local organizing committee, which is a group of 30 community leaders that come together to help with our basketball championship, the people here in Indy, our presidents, our membership, they see it and say it too. We've got an incredibly strong team. And I think that's the great news. As I move on, I know that our league is in such good hands with such strong leaders and people. And I think it starts here in our office, and then you look out at our schools with our president's room. They're unified. That doesn't mean they agree on everything.
Right.
And we all know conflict can be healthy and you need it. But the same thing with our athletics directors and our coaches. I think even right now you're in the room with our men's basketball coaches and women's basketball coaches. We bring them together. We break bread. I'm a big believer in that the night before tough meetings. Mm-hmm. And then we've been able to move forward together on some pretty powerful initiatives because I think we've got some unity right now.
For sure. All right, talked about a lot of accomplishments of your time. What about just favorite memories? Anything that sticks out as just a great time you had in the Horizon League?
There's a lot. It's usually the road trips, I would say. We've got, this 6-state footprint. And I love traveling to our cities across, of course, but I think more importantly, it's the road time with staff. Usually when you're driving home late from a championship, if you are and you don't stay over, you get a little slap happy. So we've had some crazy memories. At one point, I think this predates you, we had staff driving down, and I was in the car. I remember seeing it after the fact. In fact, I think we were coming back from Detroit and we passed this semi carrying pigs, unfortunately, probably to go to market. And one of the pigs literally somehow fell out of the truck. So then we talked about flying pigs for so long. Where else, right? But if you're spending that much time on the road, you're going to see some crazy things.
That is very true.
And that was the old adage of when pigs flies. Well, that had a whole new meaning in the Horizon League halls for a while.
That makes me think of what I feel like some of us have started unofficially calling HL After Dark when everyone's driving home from their on-campus games for the basketball championship, various destinations, or we're all driving late, calling each other and just reminiscing about things. And it gets very interesting, the topics that come up.
We could probably record that or even podcast that and go live.
We would maybe go viral with some of the crazy things that people say or that they saw during their time on the road. So we'll have to see. Maybe keep an eye on that for March.
Fair.
Obviously, Thanksgiving this week. What are you most thankful for about your time here in the Horizon League?
Two things just come to mind. First is the people, and we've talked on that, but it starts here with our team. I call it with my family. I talk about the HL family a lot. And that's because I think we've been able to build that culture here, and I'm really grateful for that. I look forward to coming into the office or going on a road trip like that. That says a lot, and I think that extends beyond just here. When I go to our campuses, it does. Yes, they're running a Division I, college athletics department, while also just like at our volleyball championship, you were there this weekend. You go in hospitality and you see the Wright State president and AD and their spouses and everybody's giving hugs, and same thing with NKU as host. It's a special it's not just we have a special team, and I think our league has a special culture in terms of people genuinely care about each other.
Yeah.
I think for me personally, I'm really grateful for the opportunity. When I came here 11 years ago, I was trying to figure out my next professional step. I didn't know what happened in a conference office other than championships.
Sure.
And to come here and to be able to learn all that I have because Commissioner Lacrone gave me a chance, and then to be a part of the growth that we've been able to achieve. I'm really grateful for that opportunity.
Yeah, well, we're super grateful to have had you, obviously,
Thank
for
you.
more than 10 years as well, whether it's joining us on the occasional golden hour for Commissioner's Corner, or all the other things you've been able to accomplish. So we really appreciate you, and thank you for joining us one last time here for Commissioner's Corner.
Thank you.
This has been an episode of the Golden Hour. Be sure to follow us at Horizon League for the latest news and information.